What's up, guys? We're talking about boots today, specifically the Crispi Lapponias. I recently just bought these, kind of ran them through some different tests, ran them through the ringer last time I was in the mountains up in the woods, and I'll let you know a little bit how they performed. Number one, before we get into that, I have been running Crispis for a long time now. I bought these Valderas Pluses like literally 6 years ago, and I've been using them ever since. And the soles, that Vibram sole was getting pretty worn down. And one thing that I noticed just after spending a lot of time out in the woods is that these were getting pretty heavy. And they're not a heavy boot, but especially after I got tired carrying a heavy ruck around, my feet started hitting stuff. I wasn't picking my feet up enough, and they just started to feel pretty heavy. And they are Gore-Tex, so in the summer, having a heavy boot and something that your feet were just going to sweat in a lot, I was looking for something a little bit lighter that I could use early season in September when I'm chasing those elk around. So I decided to go with the Lapponias, which were noticeably lighter. After a couple days out there, I didn't have any problems, picking my feet up. These are definitely a lighter boot. The biggest concern I had was the durability, because I'm walking through slash a lot, so I wanted at least some leather on there. That's one thing I liked about the Valderas Pluses, was that it was a leather boot, so getting stobs stuck in the side of your foot wasn't really an issue. I wasn't too worried about the boot falling apart because of that leather, and after 5-6 years they've been holding up great. And now the Lapponias, they've got a little bit of leather on them as well, and as far as durability goes, really had zero problem whatsoever. I will say my feet got tore up wearing these boots for a week. We're going up a lot of steep inclines, going through a lot of water, a lot of slash, and my heels specifically really got some hot spots on there, but I think that's probably just part of the break-in process. But stay tuned for that, because they keep giving me issues. Then that's part of the boot. Other than that, super comfortable boot. One thing I noticed different between the two was the actual toe box on the Lapponias felt wider to me sometimes, especially when I'm first putting the boot on. With the Valderas Pluses, the toe definitely seemed a little bit more narrow, but the Lapponia was nice and spacious, and also the ankle support was really nice as far as a light boot is concerned. The flexibility of the actual boot itself, I really enjoyed. It was super stiff in the back, but the front had a lot of flex to it, so climbing up steep inclines, I really felt the support. But also if I was just walking on flatter ground, it wasn't super rigid, versus these were a little bit stiffer. At least that's what it felt like to me. As far as waterproofing goes, my feet did not get wet at all, except for one time. And that's when I was wading through literally knee-deep water, so that's to be expected. Before that though, my feet were not getting wet at all, and it rained just about every single day out there. After the boot got wet, it stayed wet for a while. I just kept switching socks to absorb some of that moisture out of there, and eventually they dried out. But overall, pretty happy with the durability, comfortability, and waterproofing of the Lapponias. Super lightweight boot. Gonna be sticking with it for this early season, and we'll see how they keep performing. But overall, really great hunting boot. I would encourage you guys to go and at least try them on, because I will be running these this year. Pretty happy with them.